Hello everybody and welcome back. Wow, that's loud. Hold on. There we go. Welcome back to Oxygen Not Included. So I've done some more research. I think it's valuable to do your research in a game like this. Also, just while I was in this screen, prepping to record it, I looked here and I thought, why are we building the storage bin? Oh, that's right, because we want to put the oxalite in there because the oxalite produces oxygen but slowly degrades if it's not in a container. But how am I going to get the oxalite in there quickly? Well, I should probably throw an auto sweeper on here. Why can you not go here? Oh, does the oxalite refinery probably takes up all that space? So we'll just put an auto sweeper here. And then we'll connect it. And we'll just assume that this oxalite down here is producing a bit of oxygen for us. So what we'll do is we build these. Build these. Build these. So that the sweeper can immediately grab the oxalite, place it in the storage bin. That way the oxalite won't degrade. I believe is how that's going to work. Then we can use the same sweeper. At a later date, we can put one of those conveyor attached storage systems. We can have the sweeper just move it into there, and then that will pump it up and then load it into the solid oxidizer bays thing, which in theory we should only need one actually if we're gonna use oxalite. I mean, we could add another large liquid fuel tank if we wanted to do that and double our distance capacity. Also, I've been told something about placing a telescope in here. Sorry, you're the wrong ship. Keep at it, Rowan. Placing a telescope in here? This one? Something like that? Right, must be exposed to space. Is this technically not exposed to space? Can it see out the window? Oh no, there's something about placing one of these in the rocket rather than using the cartographic module, because apparently this explores one tile in a star map. Like, if it was here, it would explore these, tiles. But if I had a telescope, it could explore up to 3 tiles around it. Kind of like our telescope has explored these 3 tiles all the way around, if you assume that Plathoni occupies all of these, which I believe it does, because we can see us and our orbit. So if you think about it, man, Ikato is not that far away. But we have no reason to rocket there, because, yeah. Also, I should probably close these doors. If there's an asteroid or meteor storm going on right now. Scan network quality is 0. Meteor shower, interplanetary payloads, adaptable Gemini. So you can detect, so you pick which rocket you want to scan for, and then you can send the necessary signal. Okay, so I can have one next to each one of these, up here, probably. And I could say, oh, the rocket's coming. Open the doors. I believe. 1 to 200 seconds before they arrive. Scan is scanning at 0% effectiveness. No automation. Right, because we would connect you to all of these. But that would require us to connect all of these together. None of these are powered. Yeah, that makes sense. How much power is in... Okay, that's a huge potential load already. You are connected to all of these as well, I suppose. But oh, right, because we're going to pull a heavy watt wire up here and plug it into this. Yeah. Let's do that. I can't put one here. I can put one here. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll snip that. Actually, you know what? We'll snip that for now as well. So we'll heavy watt all the way up to here. And then we'll heavy watt into you. And then we'll snip that. Okay. The good news is there's already, even above where our doors were open. Are these all closing? Oh, I guess they are hooked up to the grid. Oh! I probably did that. But they are closing, and the good news is there's a layer of material here already, so we should be completely fine. Sorry, so my original statement was about how I've done some more research, and I will touch on that shortly. Oxalate. You suck that up, you put it in here. And then while in here... Oh, wait, it still degrades? Oh. Is it because you're actively producing oxygen? I might need to do some more research on oxalate. My research wasn't on oxalate. It was on other things. If it degrades even while it's actively in a storage container? Oxalate. Oxalate. Oxalate increases its emission rate but depletes the ore more rapidly. Okay. Beta oxidizer, solid, consumable ore. Slowly emits breathable oxygen. Okay. I wonder if oxalate was placed in a water-borne environment, would it continue to output gas? But you know what? This is a good test to know. I'm gonna test this submerged in water to see if it still produces gas. If not, then I think it's time for me to go back through the back catalogue of comments that I've got, because several of them have been about puffs, and then I'm gonna work on a puffed ranch, or I don't think you actually ranch them. I think you just passively let them do what they do. Rather than having to feed them, you just let them live. And you just put a bunch of puffs in there. And see if I can get some dense puffs. And put them somewhere. And use them to produce my oxalate. Because that's a renewable source of oxalate. Right? Dense puffs. All you do is live in a decent temperature range. You drop meat when you die. You inhale oxygen. And you exhale a significant portion of oxalate. We lose 2.5 kilograms of oxygen to the conversion process, which is almost nothing, and it doesn't cost any gold. It just requires us to actively acquire dense puffs, and we'll sort that out. Maybe you do ranch them because we want... I don't know if a puffed can produce its own egg the same way the fish can, you know, pasu fish. They just dump an extra egg out basically within their own lifetime every time. It's easy money. I don't know if a puffed can also produce an egg before it dies guaranteed every time. If not, we may want to ranch it so that we can have a guaranteed source of continuous puffed eggs. Okay. Well, okay. Step 2 is I'm gonna submerge a storage bin and see what that does. I'm just gonna put one down here just to see, and we'll tell this oxalate only, priority 9. We'll see if it continues to off gas. It's better to learn, I think, now. Also, sweep this. Wrong one. Sweep this. Wait, you drop your polluted dirt there? Really? Okay. That's fine. Because we can move the auto sweeper. Because this thing doesn't... This thing drops salt, but we're not bothered about salt, are we? Can move you 2 tiles over. Okay. It's a pain. That's fine. We'll just put you down here. I'll deconstruct you for now. It's better that we find this out now as well. We'll do that. Then we'll just move the sweeper over here. Because again, this thing doesn't need any inputs. It does drop salt, but that's not a problem. A guy can go and manually pick up salt if we really need it. The most important part is that these water sieves are constantly fed sand and constantly removed polluted dirt, which is then dropped down here along with rot piles for our poker shells to eat and turn into sand to be recycled into the sand used in the water sieve. I don't know the conversion rate actually. Oh my god, the sweeper just fed the gold amalgam straight into this thing. What if I do that? That's awesome. Oh yeah. The sweeper's like, I'll help. Did I say 10 polluted dirt? Oh, it's already sent it on its way. Hold on. Content. 10 kilograms of polluted dirt. Okay, so this thing produces 10 kilograms every time. You know what? It's science, and I will, trust me, I will get to the other research I discussed earlier. I promise. Let's put one of you here. And then we can remove this auto sweeper. You will be able to... Oh, you can't cover that here. Okay. We build you... We're going to have to deconstruct you. So that we can build the other one. Which actually means we're going to have to... have you wire up like that. Cancel those. Deconstruct those. Then we just want you... Yeah, here. Oh, place one of you. Okay. So now let me just hit up, all right? Whoop. I didn't mean to throw an R on there. Poke shells. You consume 70 kilograms of polluted dirt and produce 35 kilograms of sand. Okay, so you basically get half. So we'll say for every 10 kilograms of polluted dirt, we get 5 kilograms of sand back. Is there any differences? You produce less polluted sand. Sorry, less sand. But you turn into lumber, so that's the real benefit of that. You give a similar thing, but you produce shellfish. They thrive in water and eliminate germs from liquid habitats. Oh, interesting. 100 cycles, 100 cycles, 100 cycles. But they produce a shell. And we're also getting 5 kilograms of lime from every eggshell. Right? Sorry, poker shell malt. We get 10 kilograms of lime from every poker shell malt. So we are getting more than just the recovered sand. Every malt we get creates more, we get more than just the thing. You know what I'm talking about. And small poker, okay, so small shell malt is 5 kilograms and a regular one is 10. Okay, so we get like 5 kilograms of sand back for every 10 we put in, basically. And, oh, there's so much being dropped in. And we get, you know, 5 to 10 kilograms of lime back. That's a pretty good return on investment for just dropping some stuff into a poker shell habitat. Hatch Ranch 1, low population. We don't currently have a hatch, so I'm going to have them wrangle this one. Why is this meat not being picked up? You should also hold meat. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. Oops. Oops, I'm keeping it in W. Meat. Because occasionally, when a hatch in here dies, it will drop some meat, and that meat will then get sent in the same direction as everything else, right? You'll go up here, you won't get filtered, and you will end up here, where you can then be immediately put into a grill and turned into food. Yes, big brain. Okay. So, we take you, we deconstruct you at a 9, but we copy your settings, we paste the settings onto this, we make this a priority 9 storage bin. And then I produce a little bit of oxalite and we just see what happens. It's getting warmer with this thing as well. It'd probably be a good idea not to have this, or not to run this. Okay. So we can turn you off. There's 10.5 kilograms. We sweep at a priority 9. Now you're slowly degrading over time. But I want to see if this will be swept. I'm going to run Omega Fast Mode. It does not. Wait, it does? It doesn't. Okay, so as long as it is in a watertight environment, the oxalite cannot give off any... Oh, they're finding oxalite all over the place. Tiny pieces that have probably been producing oxalite for eons and eons. Okay. You know what? Then this setup here shouldn't be here. No. We should definitely have it because it's an automated process. We should have it constructed as close to the top of the world as possible. The oxalite refinery, things get sucked up, immediately placed into a watertight storage bin, and then when I enable another storage bin, they can be moved from one to the what do you call it one? The like conveyor enabled one. And then sent up and into here. I don't want to do it up here. Well, it's very warm up here. We could just build a structure up here above the world. I was thinking, God, this is so cold. Nah, it doesn't have to be though. We could build an insulated box somewhere up here so that the water stays at a liquid temperature. How hot is this? It's 100 degrees. It's very hot. We'll have to think about it, but it could be done. It could be done. Also, so we've produced this, or we've researched this. Sorry, my other research was a petroleum boiler, which I have been told about several times, and I now understand their usefulness. I'm going to attempt to demonstrate in a similar manner a petroleum boiler. It's going to be a bit confusing. So I'm just going to use the research reactor as in place of a volcano. Okay, so bear with me. Volcano. You have the volcano produce lava or magma into like, you know, a bin, right? With a gap, like somewhere here, okay? The magma flows down a little tube, and there's a door set up. This isn't perfect, but this is the essentials, right? There's a door set up. So what happens is the magma flows down. This door opens briefly, allows some magma into here, then closes. Then this door opens when we want it to. The magma flows down, bloop, bloop, into a little like heat exchanger box, right? Where there's another, oops, there's another door and some diamond tiles as like a heat exchanger, okay? So the heat is transferred through here. Actually, let me get rid of this. The heat is exchanged through here into this like room, mechanized airlock. I'll let the game load. There's also a metal tile. I don't know the exact metal because I need deeper research, but there's a metal tile above this. And then like an area like this. And it basically, I should be more precise with my movements here. It basically does this. Okay? Yeah. Okay. So basically, what happens is you pump with radiant pipes. You like grab some crude oil from somewhere down here, right? And then you pump that crude oil with radiant pipes all the way up here like this. Okay? Then it drops here. The crude oil goes down, hits the metal tile, which is really hot. It's 300 degrees, okay? 300 degrees. Immediately flash boils into petroleum. The petroleum gets bumped up a bit because there needs to be crude oil here. And it keeps happening and keeps happening. The petroleum fills up, and then starts flowing back down this route, okay? But the petroleum is very hot. With the radiant pipes, the petroleum preheats the crude oil as it passes through, so it's already like 300 degrees here, and then it just hits here, immediately becomes petroleum, flows back down. Then down here, you have like your pump that then pumps the rest of that now, you know, fresh petroleum out to wherever you need it to go, right? And because your crude oil comes in here from somewhere else. Yeah, it comes in here from over here. So the magma plays a part because we open this door and a bit of magma falls down and then is cooled down here with, I don't remember the exact, but there's a cooling mechanism. I think, no, the magma drops here and it exchanges heat through the window tile and cools into like a solid block. And then you have a robo miner whose job it is to sit here and basically mine the solid block once it's done. And there's automation set up so that it mines for like exactly 20 seconds, destroys the blocks. There, oh, you know what? There is a door under here. Like so. Basically, this is it. The door opens, it drops the now cooled abyssalite, or I forget what it turns into, but magma turns into a solid block. The solid block breaks by the robo miner, drops down as the door opens. The door immediately closes again when this one opens, drops another bit of magma that comes down here and cools into a solid rock and then exchanges all of its heat into here. And basically this produces, like, assuming you have a source of crude oil, which we have we have 3 different sources of crude oil. We have the crude oil, or the oil wells, which require a duplicant to manually pump some oil out of them, or manually empty the thing. We have slicksters, which is a slow but fairly continuous crude oil source. And we have a leaky oil fisher, which just produces infinite oil. It's quite high up though, but you do this, and then you get infinite petroleum to go off and power petroleum boilers, rockets. You can then heat the petroleum even more if you wanted to and flash it into sour gas, but I don't really know what sour gas is used for yet. But I have some theories. So you can do this. And this is probably how we're going to do it, because if you remember, we actually have a non-metal volcano down here. This volcano. I don't know if this is a large or small volcano. There are different sizes. But we have this volcano and we've sectioned out enough space to do stuff with it. The other thing you can do actually involves this magma. You basically set this up exactly the same. We're probably not going to do this because it scares me. But you set this up exactly the same, right? Except your heat exchanger down here, rather than dropping magma and cooling it, you build this like this spike like this that you essentially insert into like the abyssalite layer. You know, let's say this is the abyssalite between us and the magma, right? You insert this spike so that it impacts the magma down here, and it transfers heat up through the diamond window tiles, and it would sit here and then transfer its heat into the heat exchanger. This way you can do it without the use of a volcano. Really cool. I'm not going to do it because it scares me, but basically, this is the other research I have been researching. Okay, this is science. It's not going to look quite like, well, this is fairly similar to how it's going to look. It's more refined than this because we want double layers of insulated tiles to ensure heat remains where it is and things like that. And of course, the volcano itself has its own requirements, but we can make something like this work. And we can make something like that work on various planets as well. Oh, no. I'll take free plastic. We can make something like that work on the various planets. So, between the idea of a research reactor that can power things and produce... My Drecos are starving? Oh, in here. Yeah, I know, dude. Between a research reactor that can produce power and radiation, but it's kind of dangerous, we can also do this, which produces an insane amount of petroleum. I think what you can do as well, this setup where the magma cools into like an igneous rock or something like that, I believe if we use a metal volcano, it will cool into said metal. Now we have a gold volcano on Icto, and we have a copper volcano down here, which means we can, in theory, produce a limitless amount of copper and gold based on when it's actually running, which is kind of cool. Now, we obviously don't have enough space to do something like that here, so I might have to rework the design to fit in, or, you know, if you're generous enough to maybe, you know, help me with that. I think we could make something like that work. Yeah, see, here are the oil reservoirs that we could have manually activated by a duplicant. It does mean they'll have to come down here, but that's fine. And then our leaky oil fisher, yeah, is here. It produces very hot, you know, 300-degree oil, but it's very useful. So I have one of them. Anyway, so that's my 2 main research focuses right now. Plus thinking about what to do for the oxalite and transferring that into this. Oh, you've actually been filled with fertilizer. That's weird. That didn't happen for the longest time, and now it has. Okay, we should absolutely finish construction of this. and you're the input. Okay, so the water comes in here. And we do this, right? Oh, that one doesn't work. We do that. So once I've done that, we can then put the ceiling back in, and then we can start putting other things in. Because we're pretty much ready to go now, I think, with this rocket. It's got its oxidizer tanks. I will, before we launch, oh, you're entombed. I will see about adding the telescope into the rocket rather than the other module. Ah, hold on. You have been done. Excellent. No. You deconstruct, add a 9. That. Then give me the heavy watt conductive wire. That thing's gonna hate it, but it's fine. You're plugged in there. So now you have a 1200 watt potential load. Okay. That's fine. And you cover that area. And you're 39 degrees, but you'll mine everything. So you know what? You know what we could do? I learnt this trick as well from the Francis John video that I watched on producing this. We could... It's weird. The music's here. I guess because this is base, this is space. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Here's what I'm going to do. Is there a bottle creator? Like a system that you can like a bottle filler that isn't a liquid pump? Probably not. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to deconstruct these tiles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have them fill a bottle of crude oil, and then I'm going to have them place the bottle of crude oil here on this tile. That will then, some of it will fall, but most of it will sit on this tile, and all of the heat from the robo miner should be exchanged with that crude oil blob on the floor, and that will get hotter and hotter with the robo miner, but it will keep it cooler for a while. The other thing I need to do is, you see all of those, okay? So I want to run a test. I want to hook up via automation this like this into these four. And just see if we can make this work, right? So this thing is scanning for meteor showers. Once we open the doors, the fact that it sees no meteor shower, incoming objects, incoming meteors, returning rockets. So it sends a green signal when it detects something incoming. So right now it's sending a red signal, which means closed. So we would actually want... We actually want a NOT gate. Or, yeah, a NOT gate in here. Here. To invert the signal. So when it detects nothing, it then essentially sends a green signal, which means open. So we'll open these doors and the robo miner will mine. I'm learning by doing, which I think is the best way for me to learn. Also, plumbing, pitcher pump, Pepsi bottle, Coca-Cola glass. I'm going to put you here, and then we'll do that. And we'll see if we can pump a little bit of crude oil. Where'd all this polluted water come from? Is it you? Oh, you do just shoot out polluted water. Oh. I had no idea. Let's open this airlock for now so that the polluted water can fall into here and then be handled by the liquid pump that's down here. Huh. Where are you off to? Hey. Are you grabbing... Oh, sleet wheat grain. Oh, good to know. I also learnt, while saying, how does the... sorry, what do you call it? How does the wheezewort kill all the germs? The wheezeworts produce radiation. That's how they kill the germs. I mean, look at this. This level of radiation, that's horrendous to be in. And so, you're delivering phosphorite. I could probably have an auto sweeper handle something. Oh, I shouldn't think like that because that produces, well, that requires power, things like that. So that's how the wheezewort is going to kill this, is we're literally just going to set it up next to it and it's going to produce radiation that kills the plant. Sorry, that kills the germs. And then we can corner deconstruct this. Which reminds me, so we would want to build a tile there. And there. So just so that we're absolutely enclosed, and then we deconstruct this stuff. Then we mine you through a corner build. Or a corner mine, as it were. That way, you die, you produce a puff of germs, there's millions of germs, but we just set up, we maybe chip away this abyssalite so the water drains, then we set up a wheezewort. Actually, how wide is a wheezewort's radiation sphere? Quite wide, actually. So we could maybe just set up a wheezewort here and have it kill all the germs. Of course, that requires us to actively get down here. Which probably means we need to go through here. So let's just, let's do that. Let's dig through there. We'll dig through there. And we'll dig... all of this like that, so the water kind of drains to the very bottom. That way we can just ladder across and down. We'll build a farm tile here, and we will put a wheezewort on there when all is said and done. Yeah. Good. Now, there might be some temperature exchanges here. I mean, there will be, because we're about to introduce two adjoining cold biomes to a relatively warm biome. Oh, there's a geyser down here. I didn't even realize. We should dig over, when we've done this, we should dig over to this geyser and see what it is, because it could be something amazing, or it could just be another cool steam vent, right? Because it's one of these biomes. It's the kind of biome that frequently has a cool steam vent in it. Could be a hot steam vent. Like this one. You're in a different biome. Yeah. Probably a cool steam vent then. But we'll figure out what it is. Is everything else going? I haven't really checked on anything. Power's doing okay. I mean, we're pulling some natural gas. We are using a lot of natural gas. Are we still using... Yeah, the petroleum generator is not running, which is good. Oh, that's the other thing about this, just before we end, about this petroleum boiler, because it produces petroleum, that produces... we can use that to produce power with petroleum generators, right? And petroleum generators produce carbon dioxide, and the carbon dioxide we can use to feed slicksters, and the slicksters we can use to create oil, and it kind of loops itself. You can produce a decent amount of carbon dioxide from a petroleum generator, and slicksters, wild slicksters, don't need that much. So we could just, every time we get the option for more slicksters, we should get them, and then we can just put them down in the basement, basically. Down here, and just fill up this panel, and make it larger and more slicksters. And they'll just produce carbon, what'd you call it? Oh, what'd you call it? Crude oil for us. Oh, there you go. They have the thing, so I'll do that in the next one. I'm happy to leave that as it is. I'm happy for this to keep running. We're not using it as much power at the moment. Are you NG's tuned up? You are. You're producing 1.2. You're not. That's fine. That's okay. Anyway, I should pause. For now, thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope the science behind what we're trying to do makes sense. To some of you, absolutely will, and I hope some of you will be like, "Oh, I'm really proud that you're, actually going to get to some of these things." Thank you, if you do say that. If not, then that's fair. It has been 800 cycles. I hope you've enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button. Helps out a great deal. Really appreciate it. Love your faces for it. If you're new, consider subscribing to the channel for more content. Check the links in the description, ring the notification button, and I will see all of you in the next one. See ya.